All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, we've got quite the big fight coming up, and it is for the one flyweight championship that is going down in the main event of One on TNT. The first installment going down there. It is happening on April the 7th, and we've got Adriano Moraes defending his hardware against Demetrious Johnson, and I've got Adriano on the show. How are you doing there, man? How's training going ahead of this one?
I'm good. I'm close to finish one more camp in my pro MMA career, and I'm happy and with all the positive energy in this camp. I'm really happy to done it without injuries.
Yeah, it's super important there, man. But you talk about, getting in that work there. I mean, I've noticed you've gotten in work, at least historically, at American Top Team. Is that where you're primarily working ahead of this one as well?
Yes, as well. I'm keeping pushing my MMA game here in American Top Team. We feel the best in the world.
Yeah, it seems like there's no shortage of, great guys to work with. Like, I'd seen a photo of you with Pedro Munoz and Marlon Moraes the other day. So, yeah, just a roster of killers, it seems like.
Yeah, it's true. I have a good teammates over here, a lot of guys that inspire me and push me every day to do my best on my fights.
Yeah, and one of those main fixtures there being Kyoji Horiguchi, and obviously him being a former opponent of Demetrious Johnson there. Have you talked much to Kyoji Horiguchi about, I guess, the localized insights that he has fighting Mighty Mouse there ahead of this fight?
Yes, of course. Kyoji is a really good guy, and he gave me his thoughts about this match. So I'm gonna take everything that I have, the good information, try to put on my plan to have my head high in there.
Yeah, and how does it feel for this bout to finally be coming to fruition? Like, it seems like this has been on your radar for a decent while, probably, right when Mighty Mouse won the Grand Prix, but then, obviously things were lined up for April 2020 and a few hurdles since then beyond your control, obviously. But how does it feel for this to finally be coming to fruition and getting ready for it after this timeline?
I feel great. I feel happy. I feel blessed, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on his run within one championship up until this point? Like, obviously his UFC accolades are, quite reputable, but now 3-0 under the one banner, and like I said, won that Grand Prix title. So what are your thoughts on Demetrious Johnson and the skills he's shown under the one championship banner so far?
Yeah, I'm happy, about my run in one championship. I don't know why the people try to keep him to give attention to UFC, and so I'm happy Demetrious Johnson come over, and I'm ready to fight against him, and I'm grateful for this opportunity, of course, but I don't know why everybody doing the attention to the UFC and the UFC fighters. Have a lot of killers outside the UFC and have a beautiful life outside the UFC also.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, perhaps I didn't phrase the question as best as I could have. I was looking for your thoughts on, Demetrius's body of work within one championship specifically because he's got that, 3-fight win streak now.
Yes, I never fought in UFC. You need to ask Demetrious Johnson what the difference, between the two organizations. So, I'm like the way Demetrious Johnson move. I think he's happy now in the one championship. He receive a lot of attention. They trying to put him all the time in the high level. All the time they try to put him to be at the face of one championship. I don't know why, but they wanna do. So I think he's happy. I don't know.
That's curious. So does that create a bit of a chip on your shoulder in a certain way? Because, I mean, if they're trying to, in your estimation, make him the face of, the one flyweight division, that's kind of curious because you've been in the division for so long, just the inaugural champion. I mean, your accolades in the division are undeniable and set in stone. So your perception is that they're trying to make Demetrious the face of the division, even with the backdrop of your deep resume?
Yes, of course, but like it's not me to say. It's all what the people say to me. Like it's just. But I don't worry about it. I don't care. I just go there, do my work, get some money, and keep my life on.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he respects you as an opponent, though. Like, I'd seen a headline where he was talking about how he usually has problems with opponents like you who are very adept with the grappling and have those long, rangier kind of physiques and stuff like that. Like, what do you see Demetrious bringing to the table stylistically? Obviously, he's been checking out your footage quite a bit. Like, what are the, I guess, things you're picking up with your tape study on Demetrious?
Yeah, I think he's gonna do the same thing he does in his fights. He's gonna try to mix it up everything and try to put me to get tired. Like, and he's gonna do some kicks, some punches, try to grapple me, and I think he's gonna try to put this fight as long as possible, like 4 round, 50 round, and try to gain like points. I don't think he has jiu-jitsu to combat me or a striking. So I think he's gonna move a lot in the fight, like try to do some transition of MMA and try to gain by points.
Yeah, you mentioned the jiu-jitsu game and everything like that. That seems like hugely important to you, especially the lineage aspect of it. Like I saw you shouted out Elio Gracie quite a bit ago, and obviously that's a few rungs up in the lineage there, but still just a rich history of, being taught in that, sort of lineage and everything like I'm saying. So can you kind of talk about that aspect, just like the history that's entrenched in your jiu-jitsu?
I'm from Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a Jiu-Jitsu fighter. I'm black belt on the funny area at Junior. So I fight Jiu-Jitsu like since I was a kid. So I believe I have a good school of Jiu-Jitsu. So of course, after I made my pro MMA debut, I tried to evolve more on my striking skills and everything, like with transition. I moved for here to America to train more wrestling. So I want to go for this fight with everything I have. But my jiu-jitsu is my potential, It's the art who created me. So I go with a tough jiu-jitsu. If he want to grapple me, you're going to see my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and it seems like jiu-jitsu was great even in your formative years. Like, obviously, it has great utility with you being a world champion now, but it seems like it really got you out of that, gang life and stuff like that, and just out of a, tough situation really early on in your formative years. So great in that regard, too.
Yes, of course. When I was a teenager, I had some troubles in my life. I had some wrong choice. So being like a gang member, and at that time, I wanted just like do what I need to do. Protect myself, try to fight hard, and that feeling was like inside of me. I always liked to go to fight. So since I was a kid, I fight since I was a kid, and I became professional. Then I keep fighting, but now in the correct way of their life. So I think everything is like helped me to be the man I am today, and I'm happy for this. No, because I'm my choices, but I'm happy for the man I evolved to be today.
Yeah, it's a hugely inspirational story, man, and just one that I think a lot of people can use in their own life to get out of a tough spot there. But, you've been with one championship for a good while now. I was noticing your debut was November 2013 there, and it seems like both you and also the promotion by proxy have grown quite a bit in that time. Can you kind of talk about the growth pattern of not just yourself as an individual martial artist, but also the growth of one championship overall?
Yes, of course. I remember when I made my pro MMA debut in one championship. I was 9-0. I became a Shoto South American champion, and I signed the contract with one championship. And I had my first opportunity to show my greatness inside the one circle. So it was tough because I lost by split decision my first one. But I did good at the bantamweight division, so then I dropped the weight. I went to the flyweight. It was a new division and one championship, and like in the next year forward, I became the first one flyweight world champion, the history of one. And 1 year forward, I lost the belt by split decision again, but then I became the champion again. Because it was a mistake for the judges. They gave me the immediate rematch. So I was happy, because I know when you have a mistake and you can like turn it around, man, it's really good. Like I remember I felt really good to got that belt again. So then they had another mistake for the Philippine guy, Geje Eustaquio. They gave my belt to him for a split decision again. But again, the same story is repeated, and I became a champion again. So I'm happy. I'm truly happy, from my career. When I look back, I'm so grateful and so proud of myself. Because, bro, to a Brazilian guy to travel to Asia and fight an Asian organization against the Asian fighters, and become a champion and do it all over again. It's hard, it's hard. It's really hard. The travel sometimes is hard. The jet lags, the food is different, the water is different. So, but the organization, the people of the organization, the staffs, and everybody's so cool with me. And man, I love Chatri. He's a brother. I remember when I was in Jakarta, I fought in Jakarta. Then I went to Singapore. He received me in his gym, Evolve MMA. I passed that 2 weeks training hard over there. And he gave me some thoughts about my future. And man, I'm so proud to win championship where they are now. They deserve it, everything that happened to him. So they won championship be today, with a lot of stars, a lot of events. Now it's gonna be live on TNT. I'm so proud of them and proud of myself to be in this story together. And for me, it's gonna be an honor to be the first champion to defend the belt live on TNT. U.S. American time, and represent one championship flag against a UFC legend. For me, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, and I understand you're gonna break out a special move for this one. What are some examples of special moves you have in your skill set there? Because that kind of piqued my curiosity.
So my game is not changed at all. It's my jiu-jitsu. My jiu-jitsu evolves every day when I train. When my master came to American Top Team right now, running out, he always has something special. My master, Dona Silveira, Catal Cubes, helped me to evolve. I put some karate moves, I think the karate changed a little bit my mind about mixed martial arts. Yeah, and I use my talent from streets. I try to mix it up everything, and it's Miquinho style. It's just have me, have no one in the world. So I like to mix it up everything. Some street fighters, some street moves. I grew up in the streets, and I like to say that because, sometimes it's tough. But today I'm grateful. I'm alive and healthy to keep fighting. And to answer your question, I think my the karate changed a little bit my mind about mixed martial arts.
Yo, that's interesting to hear. Just really shows the multiplicity of skills that you have there. But I kind of wanted to touch on the last fight there because it seemed like a history-making moment in a number of regards, and it seemed like the number 3 was pretty prevalent through that, just with you being the 3-time one flyweight champion, and then that history-making trilogy with Geje Eustaquio. How important was that victory in your career? Just getting the win in that series overall, making the history, and then getting that third title there. That must have been a hugely euphoric moment for you, man.
Yes, of course. Always when we win the fight is a big moment, right? But my second match against Geje Eustaquio was completely wrong. Judge decision. If you watch the see, how can I say? But I accept that lost like a man. Like I knew I did make some difference, and I can be more aggressive. I just was thankful to have the chance to come back and fight for the belt again.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like I remember that decision being, very polarizing as well. So I guess there would be some level of frustration there, no doubt. But yeah, just an interesting. You mentioned the TNT dynamic being on this card here and everything like that. Like, how exciting is that overall? And just, are you familiarized with TNT at all? Like, are you going to be, you're checking out AEW Dynamite beforehand? Like, what's the, I guess, familiarity? Because you seem pretty excited about the TNT platform specifically.
Yes, I'm happy. I think the One Championship deserves, to be live and a big brand, a big channel like TNT. And I think it's just gonna put more emotion in Wednesday fight nights, after the wrestling. So the people around, man, the public who gonna gain with all of it, I'm gonna be ready April 7 to give them my best,
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm kind of curious because when I have fighters on, I generally ask if there's certain music they're partial to training to. Like, are there artists or genres that you tend to gravitate towards when you're training, or do you kind of let your teammates kind of, grab the aux cord and put on whatever, it's kind of fine by you sort of thing?
Yeah. All the time, the music is what moves us forward, right? Music is they put energy in the train, they put energy in the room. But American Top Team, man, I had a lot of fire, and I'm a flyweight DJ. I never choose the music. I think the big guys gonna choose the music, but I like to hear some hip hop. The guys have a good style of music. Hip hop. I love electronic music. I love electronic music. I'm from Brazil, the capital of electronic music. So I like put some Easy Zazzle, vintage culture, some like Fisher, and it's good, to vitamins K and go to play around, do some good training, go to the limit. I think electronic music for me is the best.
Yeah, that's a fun dynamic with the music and stuff like that. But I want to be mindful of the time there, man. I presume you're pretty busy in a lot of regards ahead of what is a huge high-stakes fight here. So to that point, is there anything you'd like to sort of add as a parting thought as we're kind of wrapping up here, man?
You can repeat, please? Cut a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering if there's anything you'd like to add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here, just being mindful of your schedule.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I was just saying if there was anything you'd like to add as a parting thought, maybe like a sponsor shout out or something to that effect. Just wanted to give you the floor more so.
Okay, no, understand. Yes, some sponsor was gonna be good, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, but this is an amazing fight and definitely one that I think there's no hyperbole attached to it saying it's one of the bigger flyweight fights of all time. Do you process the historical significance of this fight? Because, like I said, this is probably one of the bigger fights that have ever happened in flyweight MMA altogether.
Yes, yes, I believe this is the flyweight fight, the most like waiting for the world. You know, like I'm the flyweight athlete. They have the most cool fight in the world. You know, like I like to say like that. I'm so grateful the universe bring DJ to me. You know, because for me, I think it must be impossible to go to UFC and fight against him. You know, like so. I'm so happy and thankful to to keep to this fight. So yes, this is the fight. This is the fight to happen, and the most waiting flyweight fight in the world. And bro, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I think that happiness extends to the martial arts world at all. A lot of people really excited about this one, and myself included in that. People can check that out. One on TNT, the inaugural show broadcasting on that channel. We've got that going down on April the 7th, and the One Flyweight Championship is up for grabs between Adriano Moraes and Demetrious Johnson. Thanks for coming on the show, Adriano. Really appreciate the insights ahead of this one and just you giving me a bit of the time and everything. So thanks for that and everything, and just, yeah, have a good rest of your night there, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me. And I hope you guys watch me live on TNT April 7th. And let's go and still. Oh,